Hi, my name is Chris Nordyke. I'm a local State Farm agent and the founder of Speaker Lunch, which I'm going to talk to you about today. Many of you, as I look around, have been to Speaker Lunch, not once, but some of you many times. And so you'll learn a little bit about the origins of it, what we're doing now, and where we're going. This is kind of where we're at today. We're booked out through January. We have several people on the horizon we're in the process of getting. I think the reason why people like Speaker Lunch is it's unique. We have three objectives: education, connection, and inspiration, and we've stuck pretty closely to that. History, so it all stemmed from Jim Coolman, another State Farm agent, heard Mario Pastega give his story at Rotary, and he thought, you know, other business people need to hear this. It was good, it was inspiring. And that was kind of the impetus behind our first Speaker Lunch at Woodstocks. It was part of a summer lunch series. And Mario came and gave the exact same story, and the business people that came were just floored. They just loved it, they ate it up, it was all over lunch, and it was quick and convenient. And so at the end of the summer I said, gosh, let's keep this going. Let's not quit at a summer lunch series, and we invited some great speakers, many of which I'm sure almost all of you recognize. At that point, we started to have 15, 20 people. We started to outgrow Woodstock, so eventually we had to make a change. But one objective, again, education. This is actually Rich Caron's business model for Corvallis. So if you're from ATS or some other company, just let it pass by. But that's the kind of stuff that our speakers really go into detail. They're really candid. We had to move, so this is actually the email I sent to Regina. You know, naivete goes a long ways. When you don't know, you just ask, and sometimes people say yes, and it worked out great, and we're still at Iovino's. It's a great venue and low cost. Ryan and Jennifer Gardner came to me proactively and said, hey, we'd like to build a website for Speaker Lunch and create a communication method so we can grow this thing, and did a fantastic job and manage all of our communications now. Connection. So this is a great success story. George Puentes, very successful business owner, president of Don Pancho Mexican Foods up in Salem. One of our attendees met him, got into conversation with the CEO of the company, and ended up in the interview the next week and got the job. Brian Sims, inspiration. I don't know that we have many more inspirational stories like Brian Sims, 19-year-old guy who's now literally buying that city block bit by bit. I've tried to focus on a variety of different industries. So we've had the guy that started Cork's Donuts and Figaro's franchise to Bernie Newcomb from E-Trade, not only in different industries, but also a lot of different personalities. So we really get to see a lot of different CEOs and executives. Interestingly enough, one of the favorites was this guy who essentially sells Cutco. He's got about 5,000 sales reps in the Northwest. The guy knows how to build teams, successful teams. I guess you have to if you're selling knives. Rash relief. Steve Smith of Tech Labs. Tech Labs has been recognized for their company culture, and one of the main components with that is open book management. So, you know, Steve talked about a lot of the inside details of how do you roll out open book management? How do you make that a successful keystone in your business? Tim Leatherman, another real fun one. You know, started the company in his garage, was so successful China copied him, and successfully came back from that, and is still a major fixture in his industry. So I won't quote that. So we've tried to maintain a focus of candor. We've tried to be very candid, and we encourage our speakers to be very off the cuff and unscripted. And it leads to some great side discussions, Q&A afterwards, and really just some good, authentic learning takes place. Ed Ray was another favorite. You know, one of the youngest deans of economics early on in his career, and he really attributes it to honesty. Just being forthright and trustworthy with people, and sometimes we forget some of those basics. Alfred Lin, we slowly just stepped up the level of company that we work with. He came up from Las Vegas. 2000, they had $1 million in sales. This year, they're going to do $1 billion. And so we really were able to glean a lot of great wisdom and best practice from him. Randy Conrads, many of you are familiar with him. We've certainly all seen the banners just about every other time we log on and check our email or some other activity online. Randy's got a great success story, and Sharon's a big part of that. If you want to know the backstory on that, just ask me. And future Speaker Lunch. So I really try to aim high. You know, one of the things I've learned through this process of starting Speaker Lunch is if you ask, sometimes people say yes. And so I tend to go after CEOs and executives that I admire and that I think other people can learn from, including myself. So if you'd like to come, we've got Ryan Buchanan, a great entrepreneur and CEO, next Thursday, noon to 1, Iavinos. Thanks.